Hi everyone, it's Gina. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a week since I've been on, but I've tried a couple times making this video and I'm just gonna do it. Okay, it's a beautiful day out and we've had, a busy week. I don't know if any of you have ever had a hip out. For some reason I was moving some pots and my right hip just started killing me, and I called my chiropractor right away and I got in and I got adjusted. But I'm thinking, you know, many years ago, what did they do without chiropractors? They just went crippled. That's where you saw these crippled people. Do you go to the chiropractor? I mean, I have a really good one, and me being a dental assistant all my life, I usually get my left hip out, but this was the right one and it was painful. So anyway, that's why I wasn't doing well this week and I had to get that done. So hold on, I'm going to show you something. Hold on. How many eggs do we get? How many eggs? What is that?
One's still back there nesting.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eggs. Okay, well thank you, sir. All right, we got eggs. Either I do it or he does it. But anyway, I wanted to show you the eggs we got today. And we collect them in the morning and at night. I think we get around probably 10 eggs a day. So that's quite good. You know, we eat about 4 a day and then we give a lot away. Honestly, I do have a couple people who buy them from me, but all right, where was I at? Oh yeah, my hip. So I got that taken care of yesterday. And so I filmed yesterday and I just wasn't having it. So here we are today. I am now planting a bunch of stuff, you guys. I'm planting. It's time. So let's go look what things look like in my greenhouse. It's time to plant. That's all I have to tell you. Look at these. Aren't those pretty? That pot was from last year, and so all those, I love the birds, all those survived the winter in that pot. Okay, I have my alyssum. Look at those. Look how nice. In my shoes. Yeah. I planted more herbs, because I didn't realize the herbs take so long. But that's lavender. This is borage, borage. I don't know how you pronounce it. Let's go in here, and here's my other herbs that I planted. It just takes a while, and that one's that's not an herb. That's a marigold, but I put it there for the sun. So all these are herbs. So I figure it's going to take a while. I got these coming up. That planter that you see right out front, I'll show you, of my greenhouse. It goes on there. And look at these. Listen, I planted those in there. Look how nice those are coming up. Those are coming up really nice. And look at all my squash. Squash, and cucumbers. And there is a pumpkin back there. If you've been with my channel, you remember when I planted all these by seed. And then all of this down here has got to get, these are my 3 squashes that's going to go on the vine. Yeah. This right here, this big white planter is going to go outside like today. That is a morning glory right there. And about morning glories, I realized you cannot, or you shouldn't, or maybe you should, I don't know. They're kind of invasive, so I suppose it depends on where you live, but they can kind of take over. And so they recommend you put them in pots and grow them like a vine. So see that pot? Okay, so that vine, that little lattice there. So last weekend they had what they called it, a scavenger hunt, and it was a antique scavenger hunt, and they had 18 antique shops between several little towns in my valley, and there were 18 of them, and I went to only 7 of them, I think 7 or 8 of them. And it was so fun because I like antique decor. I try and find things that are outside. So I got these 2, I don't know if you can see them. They're very rustic. This one's kind of beat up, it's lost its shape, but I got 2 of these for $12, and so they're just for vine, for a plant to crawl up and be pretty, and it's in a pot. So I have 2 morning glories, this one and then one I already put outside, and I'll show you where that's at. But these are my Shasta daisies, and that's black-eyed Susan. I've got to repot those, and then Shasta daisies. Yeah, so, and then come and look at my lupine. My lupine is coming in really nice. I'm waiting for it to get a little bigger, and I have several in there. Several in there coming up. But it's time to repot and plant the marigolds. I repotted most of the marigolds, and peppers over here. They're still get a little bit bigger. There's some more morning glory. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but put it in more pots, I guess. Or put another one in here so we have 2. And then my tomatoes. Okay, and then kale. My chickens love kale, so I started those, and I've got to get those out in the garden. So it's nice enough. So out here, this black plastic is going to come off today or tomorrow, and I'm going to get it all prepared, and I'm going to, I think that's where I'm going to plant my kale. That's where it was last time, and it did really well, and it lasted 3 years. It kept coming up. So I think in the corner over there, I'm going to put the kale. And we're getting this box all ready to plant. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to put in here, though. That's the hard part. The soil's really nice. Anyway, I have my onions coming up. See the onions? And then the pepper is going to go over there. And then right here, I think we'll move this to where it gets more light. That's the cage for my my squash. And let me show you where I put my other morning glory in a pot right here. Morning glory, and that's another little lattice. They're not real deep. These aren't real deep, so I'll probably secure it a little better, but it's gonna climb up that. Yeah. And then I've been planting my other marigolds out by the chicken coop. This is my greenhouse. Lamb's ear, and look at that pretty. Starting to bloom. That was just planted last year, you guys. And look, so pretty. All right. I thought this was I thought that was dead last year, and it came back, so I was glad. We still have to put rock down. I mean, I keep saying we're gonna do it, and we just, okay, so I planted a marigold, giant marigold right there. This is like wildflowers, and some seeds I just put down, and a giant marigold right there. So that's what my plan was on this chicken coop right here, to have a little bit more shade and foliage near the chicken coop along there. So we'll see what happens. I do want to get more in their chicken run. I'm gonna get some pots, and I'm going to put more chicken friendly flowers out there. that they can munch on. And then we have our sunflower that's going to be coming up right here. We had a giant sunflower and it went way, it was like 6 feet tall, 8 feet tall last year. So that'll be fun. That's exactly where I planted it last year. Has several, so it'll be a really pretty sunflowers right there. Okay, that's what's happening in my neck of the woods. This lamb's ear is getting out of hand. It's kind of lost. I lost control of it, so I'm gonna have to cut some of it out. I'm battling bees too, by the way. I found several bees nests, so battling that. The grass is so green because we had all that rain for like 2 weeks straight, and the grass is just loving it. So anyway, this is getting real. This is my little garden that I absolutely love. I got the idea from one of those antique stores, and so I have a couple more things to plant there, but that's turned out really nice. It's where our fire pit used to be. See that big bush right there? That was our fire pit. So yeah. All right, well, this is not going to be a long video. I'm going to put a couple things on here at the end. My 2 kittens, my 2 cats, we have rescues, and it's my baby Cleopatra, we call her. She's beautiful, and she is grooming my little Miss Hazel, and little Miss Hazel is 13 years old, and she was found at the dump. We went to dump some bushes off at our little place by us, by the airport. They'll take like branches, and we cut down a bunch of trees, and we just took a bunch of foliage over there, and they had this little kitten in where the lady was taking the money. She had this little kitten, and it was in the palm of her hand, and it was only maybe a few days old. And I said, can I please see it? And she said, well, I said, what are you gonna do with the baby, with the kitten, if you can't find someone? She goes, well, we're gonna give it to someone, or we're gonna take it to the pound. And I said, I'll take it. And so I took the kitten, and I'm like, what in the heck did I just do? But I got it, I just figured it out, and I nursed it back to health, and that was 13 years ago, and her name is Hazel, and she's beautiful. So I'm just gonna put those at the end of my video, just to, you know, something fun. I like, you know. But anyway, thank you for coming to my channel, and thank you for subscribing if you're subscribing, and we'll see you in my next video when we're really starting to plant things like our garden. Okay, have a nice day, you guys. Bye-bye. Here's my one rescue kitten. She's about 1.5 years, grooming my other rescue kitten, who is about 13 years old. Isn't that precious?